Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sowing some container carrots, but obviously I'm going to have to be using a particular variety of carrot because they're going to be going in these containers. They're not a bad size, but they're not overly deep. I got these from the shop on the high street and there was £1 each. They came with the option to drill 4 holes in the bottom. Now I've used these before in past and the 4 holes weren't enough. Things were getting a bit waterlogged, so easily fixed. I just drill a load more in bottom and then we're all good to go. So to start off with, I'm going to pop some compost in this container and then we'll have a look at the carrots that I'll be using. Make sure when you're using compost for carrots that you use a really fine compost. You don't want anything with any stones or lumps in it. I mean, ideally I sieve the soil for carrots because I need it as fine as. You can do a mix of compost and sand as well. So you don't really want to be pressing it down. You just want to be making a nice level bed. So just a bang like that. Just levels it out a little bit. And then we're just going to lightly level the top off for the seeds. So we're not really pressing down on this, we're just leveling it out. We're just making a nice even flat surface because carrot seeds are really tiny. So as long as we know they're all going to be sat on a level bed, we're going to be fine. So that's just a nice little tap down. That's perfect, that is. Now we'll get the seeds. So the seeds that I'm using for this container are called Chantenay Royal, and they're a small carrot. They grow to about 3 to 4 inch at the most, and they're a stubby, fat little carrot. So that's perfect to grow them in these containers. If you're thinking about doing something like this, don't use something like Nantes or something like that because they grow way too long, and as soon as the taproot of the carrot hits the bottom, they'll fork and then your carrots will be still edible, but they'll be proper ugly looking. Before we get any seeds in this container, we need to get a good watering. So we're going to make sure it's got a really good watering. Then we'll let it settle down a bit. We don't want the seeds floating around. So now this has settled down a bit, we're going to take the seeds out and we're just going to broadcast them, but we need to make sure we do them thinly. I'm just going to get a few out and show you. Carrot seeds are really small. And they're kind of hard to see on top of compost as well. So what you will find 9 times out of 10 that wherever you plant them, whether it be outside in a drill or in a container or pots, you probably have to end up thinning them out. So basically what we need to do is just rub finger and thumb. You can see the seeds going onto this compost. But as I say, you'll end up dropping more in than you need, and you're going to have to thin them out at some point if you're going to want a carrot of any size. I would say when you get to a certain point you think it just needs a few more, stop then, because you've probably already got enough in there. It's not going to look much, but once they start growing, you're going to realise that they're going to need some space. I'm going to leave that at that now and put these seeds back for another container. So I'll just bring it to camera so you can see. You might just be able to see the seeds, and as you can see, even with a light sprinkling, you seem to get quite a few on there. It's really difficult to gauge carrot seeds, but as they grow you'll see the little shoots coming up, and then you can decide which ones to pull out and which ones to leave in to grow on, just so you know you're going to get a few decent sized carrots out of a little container like this. Because the seeds are so tiny, we need to cover them with a very fine layer of compost. So I'm using the trusty colander. I can see the seeds disappearing as I'm doing this. Also bear in mind that once you've done this, carrots take a long time to germinate. So don't get to like 2 or 3 weeks and think they've failed. They haven't, they will come. They just take a long time. Doing it like this is going to help because you're planting them in a container which we can now leave in the greenhouse. They're not coming out of this container. This is the life's home. This is where they stay until we're ready to harvest them. So I can keep this in greenhouse, keep it warm, bit of fleece over the top while they're germinating, and that's going to help move that process along a little bit quicker. So now we've done that, the really important bit here is when we just top them off with a little bit of a watering. Just make sure you do not blast it, because the seeds are so tiny they'll end up all bunched up in one corner of your tub and then you're going to be annoyed. So a light spray. If you get a light covering of water on your soil, then it's not going to blow away as you carry on. If you blast it initially, from first off, you blast water onto there, it's all going to move to one side. So now we can give it a little bit more. And at that we're all done. So these can be left now. You can stick some cling film over the top. I always do, because it is offering up that extra little bit of protection. And it's also keeping moisture inside for you. Because you need to keep your eye on these. Don't let them completely dry out. They don't like to dry out. And you'll soon see your little carrot seedlings appear. When they do, take the cling film off straight away. So just cover them up best you can. And then we've got ourselves a little propagator. And as I said, these tubs, they're only £1 each. And if you get a few carrots out of a tub, it's worth doing, because they're not taking no space up for you. You just tuck this out away in your greenhouse, put it on the floor, it's not going to hurt anything. Put it on a shelf, and you're all done. So, carrots in containers can be done. You just need to make sure you get the right variety of carrot. So that's all done, that's all set. Just pop it to one side on a shelf. It's going to stay warm. Carrots can germinate in cold temperatures, so you don't need to worry about eating so much for these. It's just the fact that you're doing them in a container, you're giving them that extra bit of protection, that extra bit of warmth early in year to get yourself an early start. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, really appreciate it. If you want to see some more videos as we progress through the season, then just hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell, and then you'll know exactly when I put another video on. Take care, thank you.